I have a new T-shirt. Look at this. Is that cool?
Is for
Like
clothes.
Superman. Coffee is for clothes. I hope that's a compliment. What do you think, Anne? I like the colors. I was given it at a trade show, but the white and the blue and the green, that seems to go well together. So, Anne's our swag queen, by the way.
Where do you get your T-shirts? I want to get some T-shirts.
This was at Social Media Marketing World. And
I want to make my own. I want to make my own, like you've got.
Anne Stadnick is in the house. We just delivered a bunch to Dirk in Palm Springs. Did that order happen yet?
No, he's not ready yet to order.
Okay, but yeah, she can deliver into the States.
Yes.
Okay, and
so say it now. Do you want to put your company in the chat box, Anne? Say it now, media. Just check the chat box. You'll get a link right there, Patricia.
Okay.
Okay, well, we should start. So welcome, everybody. So it's like I'm the only guy in the house. What's with this?
I don't know.
You got Anne.
You show up for my class. Either several that signed up.
Oh, Harvey's here. Yay, I'm not the only guy anymore. Awesome. And now people are right. That's great. That's great. So welcome, everybody. I want to introduce you to Eileen. Eileen joined our team, well, kind of towards the end of last week, beginning of this week. And many of you might not know, but as much as we teach social media, a number of our clients who go through our VIP program, at the end of it, they say, I really like this stuff and it's really good, but I don't want to do it. And at that point, I say, so if we did it for you now that we've got a relationship and you gave us photographs and stories and stuff, then that's possible. As long as there's a compliant relationship. So this is how I started this business back in 2009, which was doing a little bit of teaching, but mainly doing done-for-you social media for people. And it's one of those services that we don't advertise. We never tell anybody about it. And it keeps growing, It's great when you sell something without selling it. And it's just got to the point now, we have about 21 or 22 companies that we write for. And it's pretty much beyond a full-time job. I mean, it's a job and a half, if not almost 2 jobs now. And I still manage it. And I am doing my best to be completely dispensable. So I can have more time teaching, more time training, more time selling, more time. That would be nice. and head it all up. So we took a new lady on a couple of weeks ago, Anna, who you may have met. I don't know. I don't think she's been on the call yet. She's still at school, but she's transitioning. She graduates at the end of this month. But I was looking for someone to head the department up because I'm sort of departmentalizing as we grow. And Eileen's one of those what you call mommy bloggers. If you've ever heard of those, they are a real thing. And now that her kids have grown up and she's had lots of different business ideas through social media, and she lives 7 minutes from here.
Literally, yeah.
Literally
just over the hill.
So it was just too good a fit not to make the most of. And yeah, the only thing is, this is kind of weird, just putting it out there. We're not friends on Facebook. That's okay.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll change that.
No, it's fine. And the reason I say that is this week has been all about privacy. And there's this hashtag going around saying, delete Facebook. And it's like, are you freaking serious? But a lot of people sort of, that baby in the bathwater scenario? So a lot of this story that's going around that your privacy is being sold to companies and people are marketing to you because they know that, it's like, yeah, they always did. Mm-hmm. Nothing's different. Every time you Google a website, every time you send a Gmail, every time you log onto your phone and do a search, they know. Even if you go incognito on different browsers, I'm not even unconvinced that that's 100% incognito. And the thing with Facebook is, how many times have you had these quizzes? Find this quiz to find your Hollywood doppelganger, or find this quiz to see who you were in another life. I mean, hello? Why do you think they do that? And then you get this button that says, oh, to get your result, click here so that we can send the result to all of your friends. So you just opened the door to your address book to them as well. And this was all happening, a lot more a couple of years ago.
Mm.
And it was the one and only time I got my Facebook page cloned, and someone tried to impersonate me was when I did one of those stupid quizzes. I'm like, that's it, never again. So, Mark Zuckerberg, I posted up on my business page today, wrote an extensive email yesterday about how, this privacy issue, this company that were doing analytics not only got the analytics that they were paying for, but they had a backdoor in to get a bunch more stuff. You've heard me say it many, many times that social media privacy is like peeing in a swimming pool. Once it's out there, you can't take it back. Even if you press the delete button, you don't know if someone screenshotted it, shared it, read it. Anyway, it's indelibly in their brain. But always comes back to don't post anything on social media that your mom wouldn't like, And really, it's as simple as that. If you don't want people to find you on Facebook, go private. Use your maiden name. That's okay. You don't have to be public. I choose to be because it's a business that I live in, but you don't have to be. I know some people, in fact, quite a good friend of mine, has 2 Facebook profiles, which is actually not in Facebook's terms and conditions, actually, just saying. But she does, because this is for her and her husband and her kids, and this is for her friends and her business. And she has 2 different emails, but you can find her, and I'm friends on one, but not the other. And I went, why am I not friends with this one?
Yeah,
and I asked her, and that's what she does. You're not supposed to do that. Doesn't really make a difference, I guess, but you're only supposed to have 1 account. So the upshot is, I would not delete Facebook, as like 2 billion people are living here. That's kind of like saying, what would it be like? It's like, I hate shopping, so I'm never going to go to the mall again.
Yeah.
Like, really? What you going to do then? I guess you could order it from Amazon, but if you want to try something on, you got to go to a shop. And the same with social media. I mean, it's not one of those things, for me, it's not like, do you do social media or not? It's like, if you don't do social media, you're dead in the marketing business world. It's as simple as that. And if you look at Toys R Us, I mean, how many of us have bought from Toys R Us over the years, right? I actually met Chad Kruger, the lead singer of Nickelback, in Toys R Us in Langley with these great big stuffies on Christmas Eve under his arms that I guess he was buying for a friend or something. Everybody used Toys R Us, but you know what they did in the early 2000s when people wanted to order online? They weren't confident enough in their own ability to do that, so they did all of their procurement through Amazon. So basically, every toy that you ordered from Toys R Us online came via Amazon. And what does Amazon now do? Sell toys. And if you go into any Toys R Us store, they're no different than they were 5 years ago. It's just aisles and aisles and aisles of toys. There was no Lego center to play in there. There was no ball pit. There was no slime wall or whatever it might be that could have made them cool. They just didn't change. So you can buy the same toys cheaper in Walmart. You can get them delivered to your house for free on Amazon Prime. It's no wonder they went out of business, because they didn't evolve with the times. And that, to me, is a travesty for big business. And you look, all the department stores that are just disappearing because they're not evolving, whereas the ones that are staying cool are still getting people to come in the door. So that's why you're here. You're the cool kids. You want to learn about social media so that your business can grow, right? And high five to you guys for being here and doing that, because that's what it's really about. And you know, this kind of thing has become everybody's office. It really has. I mean, it's not, oh my goodness. So I messaged my daughter. She was supposed to be at an event at 9:15 and she just arrived. Oh dear.
Late.
Very late. So anyway, that's the upshot. So yeah, I read something the other day that said Instagram is Facebook's new Facebook. So think about that for a minute. Instagram is Facebook's new Facebook. So basically, rather than just making Facebook, you know, stay the same, they bought WhatsApp, they bought Facebook, they bought out Messenger. Mm-hmm. So there's many, many things now that Facebook has that are over and beyond Facebook. And buying Instagram was genius, you know, because Who doesn't use Instagram these days, really? You don't?
Not yet.
Girlfriend,
I know.
we gotta kick the hashtag out of you. I tell you. Just this week, Instagram is evolving. So now, because the one beef with Instagram, well, two for me. One was you couldn't schedule it, which means it always had to be live, but it was Instagram. So it's supposed to be live. But when you're an agency and you're doing 10 people's Instagrams, it gets to be a lot of work on a Sunday morning when really you could be doing other things, right, Harvey? Could be at church, on the TV, doing your Instagram. Harvey runs an online church. It's really cool.
Oh, cool.
He's evolving with the times.
Wow.
And so you can now schedule Instagram through Hootsuite. Dang! And it works.
It does. You just have to get it set right.
So
Yeah.
But the other thing with Instagram is there is only one link, and that's in your bio, and you always see this post saying link in bio. But just this week, they brought out shopping through Instagram, so you can actually, if you're a shop, you can have a product, and when people click on the product, it will go to your shopping account, and you can buy it without going back to the link to find the website. You can also you can now follow people through a hashtag or their name. So every name has an @ sign in front of it. So now you can just put in @JDGem, and you can follow me without going to try and find my profile, right?
Exactly.
So they're evolving. And they're making
Like
it.
your category.
Oh, it's awesome. Like Snapchat just brought in a URL, so you could actually embed a URL in Snapchat, so you can actually get to a website without swiping up and all the cool stuff. So we're evolving. Everything's going to change, and I think that's my biggest job now, is to find enough knowledge to give you what you need to know without you having to go find it. And Instagram reach has gone. It's just tanked. I used to get 70 to 100 likes on every single one of my posts. I'm lucky to get 20 to 25 now. Because what Instagram is doing is they're saying, well, first of all, people got wise and they had like 6 or 7 buddies that set each other up on notification. So as soon as you did a post, you got a notification. We all went and liked and shared it. Boosted the algorithm, got you out there. Instagram got wiser. I went, the same 6 or 7 people like you every single time. We think that's spam. Delete. So that option disappeared. The other option was to have like 18 or 20 hashtags, and you would get found through these hashtags. What Instagram has now said, you keep using the same hashtags. That's not very original. Delete. So all the 2 hacks that really got you popular are now not hackable anymore, Because marketers ruin everything, right? That's what Gary Vaynerchuk says. So it's going back to originality. It's going back to, it's a democracy. The people with the most votes wins. And, on Instagram now, when you get there, it's all about the popular people. And we're not all the popular people as much as we'd like to be. So we have to play the game. And you know what the game is? Are you ready for this? Because this is so revolutionary. Talking to people. Hashtag engagement. It's the only game in town that actually works. Go flip and figure. Now, wouldn't it be cool if there was a course that was all about engagement? That somebody taught for the last 8 years about engagement?
Bizarre.
Seriously, that is what social media has always been about, will always be about, and all of these clever marketing hacks along the way. Oh well. So you got to remember too that you don't own your Facebook account or your Twitter account or your LinkedIn or your Instagram or your Snapchat. We're guests on that platform. And Snapchat, with one tweet from Beyonce, lost over 7%. With one message on Snapchat the week before from one of the Kardashians who does the makeup.
Oh, Kylie. Yeah, I remember. Kylie, I think it was.
Whichever.
Yeah.
Lost them another $1 billion. Facebook stock alone lost $40 billion yesterday based on this privacy thing. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to disappear, but that's a shed load of money, on stock value, just like that. But the thing, what we can do, and the thing that we can own, and I'll share this with you. You ready for drum roll? We can own our own website. Can you see that?
Nice.
This went live overnight. In fact, we're seeing it for the very first time.
It looks awesome.
Because that's the one thing you can control, is the fact that you own your own domain, which is lifeasitshouldbe.net. And this, where your blog is, where your social media links, where your footprint is the only thing you can own. I guess if Google went down, or there was a major blackout for 3 or 4 days and everybody's batteries died, we'd all be screwed and we go back to using yellow pages and smoke signals. But other than that, assuming that we're all going to have electricity and assuming that Google is going to keep going, you have to put your effort into a website. And you have to have that on top of your social media. So your social media really is a gateway to your website. And ideally, through writing good blogs, your blog is a gateway out. And that's why we spend so much time talking about blogs. And we have a 10-week course, which is twice the length of the bootcamp, because we want people to get blogging or vlogging, which is video blogging, because it's so critical. And Patricia's, I got to give you a high five, my friend, because she heard me speak in November at a time management event with Dr. Sarah Reif-Hecking, and came up to me and said, I don't know anything about the social media and I don't have a website, but I've got a lot in here that I want to share, not just with my friends and my grandchildren, but with the world. And can you help me? And I always have so much respect for people who just want to do that. So this is where it's going. And we started, it's like so new, it's like smoking new. It's just come hot off the press. But that's what you're going to do.
It's beautiful.
Sorry. Say, Jeanette?
I was just saying, it's beautiful. It's clean. It's the photos are gorgeous. As a web designer, I'd be proud of this. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jonathan was wonderful.
Yes.
He would sit at breakfast with me. We all went out for dinner and we talked at dinner. He's just exactly the person he encourages everybody else to be. He was so friendly, so helpful at every step of the way. It was just, he is who he says he is. He is who he encourages others to be.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
Oh,
And
gosh, it's got really hot in here.
Yeah.
Can I ask who did your photos?
You don't have to have a website. We have one client, Artisan Hair Studio in Langley. She doesn't have a website. She has a Facebook page and a Google Plus listing. That's all she needs. She's full. She's not taking on any more clients. She owns her own business. It's just how she does life. It's quite unique that she doesn't. We own artisanhairstudio.com and .ca anyway, so nobody else can buy it. She doesn't need it because it's a traditional bricks and mortar business where people come in and get their hair cut, and it's one of those jobs, that people have to eat and they have to look good. And people like me, I still have hair to cut. I'm grateful for that. David, Harvey, you'll agree with me. We may not have as much, but we still have some to cut. And that's where we go. Hey, David, I messaged you today because you came up in my newsfeed as a sponsored post. You, yes. Hang on, I'll unmute you.
There we go. I decided that sometime in between the craziness with clients, I should actually start doing some posts on my business page, which I just set up last week, and tried out.
Christian has stopped screen share.
And tried actually to do a little bit of boosting. So I invest a little money. Like, I'm not sure if you're going to pay me now that I've boosted to you, but
well, the way it works is it says a little word sponsored under your name, so I could see it was a sponsored post, but it's guaranteeing visibility.
Okay.
And obviously, you might have done it to people who like your page and how did you boost it?
I think I said friends and friends of friends or something like that.
So I've been that. So every time someone clicks on the post, then that's when Facebook charged you. So I didn't click on the post, I just sent you a message and went, I saw it, and it was a post of a big rock in a car park with a bar on it saying,
That was a while ago where I was whining. I'll tell you, some of the people that respond, can you unfriend people on your business page?
You absolutely can block them. Yeah.
There's some idiots out there. Oh my God.
Yes, there are.
Sorry, that's very judgmental of me. I'm going to a workshop on Byron Katie's work this weekend, so that I'll be a little more accepting of just what is and stop calling them names.
Well, you know what the WWW stands for, right?
Weird, wonderful, wacky.
that could be it. I call it the World Wild Web, you know, because it is wild, and you never know what you're going to find. But yeah, but good for you. You did it, and it got engagement. I could see that on the post.
Yeah, I've done it 3 times now, and a couple of them are with video. Were they with videos? I can't remember, but anyhow, my understanding is though, if I want videos, I have to do them on my personal page. Is that right?
No,
it's not right. Okay.
You'll get better reach on your personal page, but you're not supposed to do business videos for selling on your personal page.
Okay, and how do they decide if it's selling? If I say, please pay me money at the bottom, or what's the...
Typically, when you go to boost a post and there's a video, somebody at Facebook will listen to it.
Okay.
And if there's certain topics, like we've just done some job postings for a company, and they send us this long criteria that we had to guarantee that we would be racially correct and gender neutral and all these different things. And unless we would agree to these terms and click a box, they wouldn't let us advertise this position. It was for a nursing home. So I thought, well, that's cool. But with video, they technically, they're voice recognition software now. And sometimes video ads can take longer to get approved because someone does listen to the content. And if it's on your business page and you're promoting a product or selling a workshop with a monetary value, typically they will not approve it. It'll just say against terms and conditions.
So this time I just put my email address and my website.
Yep, totally fine. Because
Okay.
basically you're just attracting traffic. And then what I noticed too is on your messenger, and when I said I saw your Facebook post, you had an auto reply or automatically come up saying, "Hey Jonathan, how can I help you?"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I didn't set that up, but I'm sure glad someone did.
Well, that's how it came up, and I was like, "Dang, he's doing good."
That's good. You get your response rate kept up then.
So yeah, it worked. And
I'll have to find out where those horseshoes are residing.
we're putting a lot of effort into Messenger right now, and one of Anand's jobs will be to help businesses create proper order bots for that. So that'll be coming in the next month or so. The other thing that we've got coming up is that I've tried to collaborate a lot of the groups. So you may, if you've been in a previous class of mine, you may have ended up in an extra group more than normal. Because what I've tried to, because every time I run a class, I run a group. And I'm never going to close those groups down because I always promise people that the resources will always be there for as long as Facebook is there. But it's very difficult for me to now go to 11 different groups and say, oh, we have this coming up, we have this coming up. So everybody who's previously been in a paid group now has gone into what we're calling the alumni success circle. So that's just so much easier for me to send it to one group.
Yeah.
And then currently, if you're in bootcamp, that group will archive soon, but it's still live. Power content is just starting, so if you're in that, you'll get that. If you're in VIP with me, that's another group. And then we have the success circle. So that's only 4 now instead of 11. So I'm really happy about that. There will always be at least 2 or 3 live because of the classes. So if anybody saw that, and I had a lot of people pop out of the woodwork who maybe haven't heard from me for a while through, they should have heard from me, but maybe they weren't listening. It's not as if I don't talk. So that's, if you saw that, that's what we just done.
So Jonathan, how concerned would we should be about all this blowback from Facebook and the way it's been used? And just, I mean, I've seen a number of people that have said, I'm getting myself off Facebook, this, that, and the other thing, maybe a inappropriate backlash, but are you seeing any negative impact so far from all
funny you mention that, because if you'd have been here at 10 o'clock, it's our first topic.
I'll just listen to the archive. That's okay.
But here's what I have found so interesting is that my Facebook, I had 22 new likes last week on my Facebook page, but my Facebook number of likes decreased by 27. So last week, my Facebook page went down effectively by 49 likes. I was like, what the heck? How did I lose 49 likes? I'm not, I'm not, Mr. Ahmed terrorism, anti-racial, anti-female, anti-anything. I think, most of my posts are very gender neutral for everybody. But we think...
Jonathan, does that mean they physically unliked your page?
Yeah.
Because I had one last week as well, unlike, and I was like, what does that mean? What have I done?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is not... The likes only reflect people. They don't reflect businesses. So that number never actually includes the number of businesses that like your page. Mm-hmm. But I literally had 49 people unlike my page last week. But what I really think happened was that Facebook had deleted a bunch of spam accounts. Mm-hmm. And I guess some of those spam accounts had liked my page. That's all I can think of. Because you wouldn't lose like 50 likes in a week. You just wouldn't.
No.
Thankfully, I'm growing, so I only went down to... I was like 3 away from 20,000 last Thursday. I was like 3 away, and I had all these graphics built like 20,000, woohoo! And then by Monday, I was like 970. Like, really? So yeah, so the privacy issue goes back, way back, to 2013, 2014. It's not recent, but at the same time, it is very recent because that digital footprint, every page that we like, Facebook knows. Every keyword that we put in, Facebook knows. Every time we associate with somebody on Messenger, Facebook knows. So they're constantly trying to create content that's good for you. Mm-hmm. And if you're constantly berating President Trump or Prime Minister Trudeau, those keywords are picked up. And before you know it, you're going to get AdWords from the Liberal Party saying, join here, or the Democratic Party saying, we have a tea party in Boston next week, you will get ads because of what you say on Facebook. Almost to the point that people say that smart devices are too smart. And people said, I was just talking about that, and suddenly there's an ad on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And is it really that smart? I think it probably is.
It is happening, yeah.
So Big Brother is definitely listening.
If you really want to freak yourself out about this and want to take yourself totally off anything that's connected beyond your house, there's a book called The Seventh Sense by Joshua Ramo Cooper, who's a high-tech guy, and talks about just the seventh sense being a network sense. So you understand the impact of being connected. So everything you're connected to, you're also connected to everything else that it's connected to.
Yeah.
Talk about the whole hacking community and how long they take to announce fixes, because as soon as you announce it, the hackers will be in there, take advantage of it. So things may go for months. And it's if I've been working with a client and I don't like their manager of information technology, I send them a copy of the book, and I know they won't sleep for a couple of weeks.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I've actually been investing in lots of new books just this week, and these just came from Amazon. This book is called Known. It's by a speaker called Mark Schaefer, and it's all about creating an online personality that wins. And I heard him speak about it. The Handbook for Building and Unleashing Your Personal Brand in the Digital Age. I'm very excited to read this book, and I've heard him speak, and he's awesome. The other book that just came out is called The Youpreneur, and it's Chris Ducker, and the definitive guide to becoming the go-to leader in your industry and building a future-proof business. And he basically said, I'm all in on this now. I don't have a bricks and mortar business. All I do is this. This is my brand. This is who I am. This is the only commodity I have, and I'm all in. So both these books are quite similar in what it's doing, but that's exactly what it's all about. It's about creating that go-to personality that people refer again and again. So let's just, Jeanette, have you published that blog yet?
Soon. I'm still trying to think of a really catchy title.
Oh, okay. You gotta love it when you have a wireless printer in your house and someone decides to print in the middle of my webinar. Thanks, Deb.
Jonathan, can I say something about what you're sharing about being known and all that?
Please do.
Okay, so I can't get into a lot of details, but I work for a company down in Florida called the National Cyber Partnership. And they are into cybersecurity and education, and blended with the intelligence community very closely. A lot of the board members and stuff, they're all from the intelligence community. And one of the things that I became aware of relatively quickly was that, or I shouldn't be say aware of, I suspected, was that they probably knew more about me than my parents did, which is really interesting. So now, on occasion, I will, and this is, I think it's hilarious, is every once in a while I'll throw a post out there, and I'm actually communicating with them. They would never know that it's for them, but I'm telling a story over and above the what's going on here. Is you're actually creating, like you said, drawing a picture and telling a story that if somebody gathered it all together, they could write a book about you. Like you said, don't share anything that you wouldn't want your mom to know. I think, when you live your life above board, you can be authentic online. And I found that being authentic and transparent and even displaying my flaws and some of my challenges become a really critical part of the story to why I'm doing these things and when they reflect on. So there's this huge gathering of all content that you can start to make connections and what's the word? Come on, brain. More coffee. A framework for some of the things that you do and say that add so much more color and depth to your story. And that's all I'm going to say.
I like it.
It's pretty exciting.
I've even heard of people showing up online to attend a class in a house coat.
You know what? This has been awesome for me. I'm still, it has exposed some more of my, doing this has exposed some of my, I don't want to say vulnerabilities, things that I want to, like I want to be the best at what I do and I want it to be authentic. And so I'm really pushing through some stuff. My life is about learning every day, challenging myself every day and getting out of my comfort zone. And you have provided an amazing opportunity for us and everyone to grow and do that. So thank you. Oh, shucks.
Oh my goodness. So Jeanette sent me a very kind blog the other day that isn't published yet, but basically it's a story of how she came to my physical meetup a couple of years ago, had a client, his name is Thomas, who now needs to expand his marketing. She built his website and went, I've done as much as I can do, you need more. I know somebody. She messaged me and said, would you be interested in meeting this guy? The three of us met in real life, like over coffee, like face to face. I know, we're lucky to get one of those. And by the end of that meeting, he just went, I'm in. Yeah, I managed to write him a grant. He got $10,000 a training grant from the BC government. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
That's great.
And it was a referral. And now you look great because you gave him a trusted source and he's now onto bigger and better things. Mm-hmm. This week alone, I've had 3 referrals. One was from a videographer who I know in Vancouver. She said, I have a not-for-profit client. They cannot get their head around social media. They have a budget, but they really need a great trainer who can come up with a strategy. I automatically thought of you. Would that be okay? I went, yeah, The second one I had was from a sales trainer in San Diego. And she said, I had an approach. This lady came to my webinar. She told me what she wanted to do. She had a farm in a city called Kelowna, which apparently is near you. She said, I really don't think I could help her, but I think you could. So I got in touch with Heather. We had a call. I told her about the grant program. She emailed me yesterday and she got approved for the grant. So, that's like 2 VIP clients just from referrals.
Love it.
The go-to person to help people tell their story online. And that's what, these books are all about, is being known and being a youpreneur, as Chris says. He's a British guy. He's the guy that did the no love trust that I talk about rather than the no like trust. So that you become that go-to person. And the more go-to for apps or swag or evangelical, matters or interior color design or horse stuff that Helen does. I don't know how anything equine.
Equestrian.
Yeah, in Quebec of all things. Michelle, who's on the call, she's here, whether she's listening or recording, I don't know. But Michelle has got a business called, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Michelle Gutman, what's the name of your business? She's a health coach.
Live Nature's Path.
Thank you. I knew that. It was just blanking. So Michelle has this most amazing story of personal illness and overcoming stuff with her mom that just opened her eyes wide to this whole holistic way of doing health, which doesn't involve pharmaceuticals. And so much so, she's giving up her corporate America career to be 100% coach in this because she is so passionate about what it is that she does. And I can't wait for her blogs to sort of unroll around that. And then, you know, automatically, if you know somebody who's suffering from MS or something like that, and you hear these stories of people being cured, if you like, through a holistic way of changing diet and lifestyle, then who wouldn't want that referral, right? So that's what you guys do. I mean, Townsend's here. I mean, she has a float center in South Surrey. My daughter has chronic anxiety, my youngest daughter actually, and she went floating there the other day, and she said she felt the most relaxed she felt in probably 2 years, and she has Ativan to go on a plane, she has this for that, she has this for that, and she tries not to take stuff because it changes her personality, but the doctors keep saying you should be on antidepressants and anti-anxiety stuff, but you know, floating made a big difference. And just getting that word out is what we're all here for, is to get each other's word out and sort of just become this ultimate referral network for each other's services, but also to blow our own horn humbly so that people can really sort of just know what it is that you do. I mean, I don't take praise really well. I really don't. I just like helping people, and I get really hot when somebody acknowledges what I do. It's just, but that's okay, right? You know, we're not here to sort of say, oh yeah, baby, look at me. I had somebody apply for the job that Eileen got, and he was an Indo-Canadian male model. And all of his pictures on Facebook are of him at a gym in front of a mirror, sort of flexing and like, yeah, that's really going to fit into my team. You know, I just need a double shot of testosterone and each to their own, hey? But you have to find that right fit. So anyway, we have some time. I've been on a bit of a soapbox today because this privacy thing is really bugging me.
It's been
and it's big.
A crazy week, yeah.
It's big. I mean, $40 billion of Facebook equity.
People are freaking out.
And then I read somewhere the other day that Mark Zuckerberg dropped 125 million shares 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did he?
No, he knew it was coming.
I didn't read about that.
Conspiracy theories, who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, how can I help you? How can we help you? What would you like to know today? Anybody?
I have a question. Go ahead first, Patricia. No. Okay. So when I post on Facebook on my business page,
yeah,
and then I share it to my personal page, when people respond and converse with me on that post from my personal page, do I respond as Jeanette or do I respond as Gentech?
It depends how you're set up. Under page roles on Facebook business pages, there's another tab called post attribution. So you can actually set it so that you reply automatically as the page or the individual. So you can pick that, so you can choose. Typically what happens is if you've got a business post and you share it to your personal page and then people comment, you will be sharing as your business page. I have two business accounts. I have my name, Jonathan Christian, which is almost 20,000 likes page. And I have another one, which is called We Make Stuff Happen, which isn't really a page, but it's an address. Because when you're a personality on Facebook, you can't have an address. But you want people to be able to check into our office, right? Or write a review. So I have a separate page, and it actually says on it, this is not our main page, but it is our address. And this is the address of the business. But to find our main page, go over here. So if I tag We Make Stuff Happen in a post as an address, and then I go to write back, even on my personal page, I'm writing as We Make Stuff Happen.
But you have an option to select, right? You can say write as, and so what's the best?
On a desktop, you don't on a mobile. On a mobile, it goes to the post attribution because you don't, but you can on a desktop.
Okay, and so are there any benefits to one or the other if you do have the option to respond?
Well, Facebook's looking for engagement. So even though you've taken a business post and put it on personal and you get all of that engagement on personal, if you go back and look at the business post, you'll see the reach go way up. But you won't see the engagement on your business page in terms of the comments because it happened over on your personal page, but the reach is still there. And Facebook's all about reach, but it's also about engagement. So it's a good tactic to do. I do it a lot. It's like my new video series of the Shaving Chronicles. I'm doing it on my personal page, and then I'm taking that link and sharing it over to my business page. So I think I got like 341 people view it. But if I look on my business page, it only reached 30 people. Mm-hmm. So it sucked on my business page. And I would not have got that kind of engagement had I broadcast video on my business page. So I choose to do it on my personal. But you're talking about the other way around. And most posts should originate on your business page. But if you want to get video with engagement and it's not too salesy, then it should be on your personal page.
Thank you.
Patricia.
Yes, I want to learn how to do a video with Jennifer from Tap to Drain.
Yes.
She's in Canada and I'm in Washington.
Okay.
So what are the technical things of setting that up?
On Facebook business pages, you can, and you go live, you can actually invite, if they've got the notification set, you can invite somebody to join you on a Facebook Live. Okay. It becomes a little green square and it says, do you wish to add these to the conversation? So you could bring her in to the conversation. Okay. The other thing you could do is create a free Zoom account. This is Zoom. And you can create a free Zoom account, and as long as it's not more than 45 minutes, then you can have what's called a gallery view, where you have you and her side by side with really good definition. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the best way to do it. And then once you've got the Zoom video made, which then automatically saves to your documents on your computer, as you upload that to a blog or YouTube or your Facebook page and do it that way. But you can do a live and bring a guest in.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
thank you.
I think, I haven't tried this. If she comes in, she'll come in as Jennifer Kohler. She won't come in as Tap to Drain Plumbing.
Okay.
Business page, you can bring in another business on live, right?
No, it will probably go to an actual person.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
So that's okay. But Zoom, I would say for standard, Zoom would be the best way to go. Okay.
Great. Great. I'm excited.
All right. I am too. Clean dishwashers. David.
Jonathan, I'm getting some messages on Zoom here whenever something's changed, like Jonathan is now sharing his screen. Jonathan is no longer sharing his screen. It just started yesterday. Is that something that's new to Zoom, or have I touched something somewhere I shouldn't have?
I've never seen that. I don't know.
Okay.
It must be a notification coming in Zoom, but it doesn't come up for me.
It just when you share it, like if you were to go back to sharing screen, I'll tell you exactly what it says.
Okay.
Jonathan Christian has started screen share.
So it just said Jonathan Christian has started screen share.
And it's in vocal as well.
Did anyone else hear that?
We heard it.
We heard it through your mic.
That's weird. I'm gonna look that up.
I wonder if that's like the Google alt tags for people who can't see. I wonder if there's a setting for that.
Because it just started yesterday. I wonder if it's one of those features that someone added that nobody wants.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, while I'm screen sharing, let me tell you about this, and I'll put a link into it. This is a class that Lindsay and I are running next Wednesday afternoon at 2:00, and it's a buy-in to the Power Content course that's coming up, but it's a masterclass, a 3-step masterclass, which is like find your story, how to get people to love your story, and how to get found by Google. And this is what they call a landing page, and we just set this up, and this was a video that
Jonathan Christian.
Lindsay and I made.
And I'm Lindsay.
Rather than do it in gallery, Patricia, we decided to do it in what we call speaker view. So then whoever's speaking has the whole screen. We could have done it in gallery, but we chose to do it a little differently. But feel free to join us for this next week. You guys know about the course anyway, and
Jonathan
number of
Christian
people
has
with it already. But
started
oh yeah, look at that! Now I stopped sharing. That's bizarre. There must be
something in the settings.
I would say it's almost like, because Google alt tags, when you have a photograph on your website and there's a meta description and there's description and then alt tag ALT, that is for people with visual difficulties, that Google has that subtext so that it will play a photograph of a lady playing an accordion would be the alt tag for Patricia's picture on her website. So I'm just wondering if Zoom has that kind of thing.
Is that happening with anybody else?
Nancy says she's seen it before. You know what? I haven't touched my settings, so I can't even see where the settings would be. Advanced sharing options.
It just seemed like it started yesterday. Someone else was on a call, and it was like, holy smokes, how did you get that to stop?
There's a closed caption. Use a third-party closed caption service. Assign the type. I don't know. I don't have it. Unless it's a new version of Zoom that's just come out and it has that latest option. Maybe I haven't upgraded enough. Video settings.
Like I was looking under enable advanced features, and nothing. There's like 1,000 of them, but nothing seems to.
Genuinely, I'm looking at all the settings now. There must be a setting somewhere in advanced features or something. I don't know.
So you know what? I'll check with Zoom because they're pretty good at responding. And when I find something, I'll post it to the group.
Please do. I'd be interested to know that, but I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. So how's everybody doing with their Facebook posts? Have you had any home runs that really worked or didn't work or anything like that? Nancy was at a fancy fashion show last night.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I dropped my phone. It was actually a very interesting post. As a float collective, as an industry, we kind of piggyback off each other, and this one was the last person to comment who doesn't have any likes on their post will win a free float.
I saw that.
And I didn't give a deadline date.
I saw that. You did a winky face, didn't you?
Pardon?
You did a winky face, like, I'm not telling you when this contest finishes.
Pretty much. So I could stop it at any time. So I'm going to see how it goes, and then I'll stop it when it starts losing traction. But it seems to be picking up traction again. It goes in spurts. And then the day before, I'd done another post where it was, if you see 2 dolphins, you're okay. But if you see not 2 dolphins, then you need to float. So I think it's the one below that. So that's the post that I have now, the competition.
Yeah.
My daughter.
And I was being mischievous because I was seeing everybody's comment and pressing the like button.
I saw that. That was funny.
But that's fine. And what was the one about dolphins?
You're okay.
I love dolphins.
Got even more talk now.
I love dolphins.
I know. So I don't know where the dolphin one just to. There you go.
Let me see.
But that was a picture of 2 dolphins. Take a breath. Take a deep breath. If you can see both dolphins, your stress level is within acceptable range. If there's anything else, stress at the time, you need to float.
Cow.
Holy cow.
Let me see that.
So that one was pretty popular. We actually got a couple of phone calls from that of our members.
That's brilliant. Now, I'm an admin of Tamsin's page, so I see more detail than typically see. But that reached, and this is organic, 332 people. What's interesting is when you go, Tamsin, is it okay if I go on your back end and your insights?
Sure.
Because one of the things that we see is like, even though that page, like the winner free float, this one here, it's only reached 65 people, but 47 people, they may not have said anything, but they clicked on the picture. And that's a lot of people. So even though the post doesn't look like it's like doing a lot, because it's 65 people reached, 47 people actually clicked on this. So that's eyeballs, and it's the eyeballs that you want. That's what we're in the business for, is just getting it. And so I thought that was a really good, I saw that yesterday. It's funny how it only reached 65 when you had that many comments. That makes no sense to me at all, because there's no way you can have that many comments and shares and only reach that person. That's not possible. But anyway, that's what Facebook says.
Even more importantly, though, Jonathan, is when I go back into my website, the amount of people that I have had looking at my website over the past 4 days alone, that has really, really increased quite a bit.
Yeah.
So maybe they're going onto our website and checking it out that way. So that's been good.
That's great. That is my website traffic in the last 2 weeks when I was advertising for the job spiked by over 800. A ton of people had saw my job ad and just went to look at my website. It was markedly different in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, if you want good website traffic, just try and hire someone.
Jonathan, we don't see you anymore on the screen. We just see your picture, by the way.
I don't know how that happened, but here I am.
Yay.
Oh, David, you missed this. Coffee is for closers. Isn't that cool?
That's why I was late.
Oh, there we go. You're getting coffee. Okay, 10 minutes, folks. What else we got going on? Is anybody on the fence about joining Lindsay and I for Power Content? I can answer any questions you might have because we have 25 seats and we've sold 16. And we haven't, the landing page only went live this morning, so it'll sell out, I'm pretty confident. Nope, good. Okay. Patricia's all in. That's all in. I'm excited for that. Rosalie's in. Looking around the room. Yep, that's it for now. So, well, we're excited for that. It's 10 weeks.
I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to get my money's worth. I want to rebrand. You guys have completely inspired me. And you're going to get a chance to put your fingerprints on everything that I do.
I have your business card. We talked about, okay. So this is Jeanette's business card with a photograph, and it's not her.
Oh.
So the first thing I would say, I mean, I don't mind the orange and I don't mind the logo, but I just want to see you. Yeah. And then the back of the card just, it's waiting to happen. But yeah, no, for sure. Would love to help, you know that. We're doing it. Okay. So Instagram, you can now follow people. You can now follow hashtags. You can now sell stuff. If you go into Instagram today on the Instagram stories, which is around circles across the top, there's an Instagram one and it says new. And when you click that, it tells you all about it. It's very cool.
Jonathan, I was at a workshop, CAPS workshop on Saturday with Jane Atkinson. She was talking about branding and positioning and the importance of having a brand promise and positioning statement and things like that. And I'm wondering if there's value in having that on your business Facebook page. It's just, you know, if you can somehow add onto the picture sort of a brand statement or a tagline or something beyond just the picture.
Definitely.
That helps position you.
Absolutely, 100%. That Facebook cover picture, I always get people, I always click on it to see whether the link is there, but the picture itself, telling people what it is that you do, is huge.
And so do you keep that as separate text, or do you have that, do you do a new JPEG that's actually got that text embedded in it, which I guess wouldn't make it searchable then?
It does. So let me give you an example. Find my share button. There we go. Everything keeps moving on me here. Let's split screen.
Jonathan Christian has started screen share.
Good news. So this is my business page as of this morning. It's all about the masterclass. And then if somebody clicks on that image, they get the text of what we're doing and a link to it. And that's actually a post. Now, the thing with this post is if I wanted to boost this as an advertisement, I really couldn't because there's way too much text. And even though Facebook will take my money, and they've stopped doing the 20% hard rule, they also say that this will have a much tougher job reaching people because it's overly text.
Okay.
So from a point of view of like people arriving on my page and wanting to know what's going on, it's exactly the right thing to do. So yeah. So my sign up goes to hopefully goes to the landing page.
And what did you use to create that, Jonathan?
We use Canva.
Okay.
And it has all of the sizes of all of the Facebook pages. I upload my logo, my hashtag, everything into Canva now as elements. We just bought the paid Canva, didn't we?
Yeah, so we have all the templates.
So the templates you can save then, and it was not a lot of money.
No, it's really affordable.
Do you know how much it was? 100?
For a year? I think it was like $9 a month or
$9 a month,
something.
And is that an app on the computer or on an iPad or like iOS or both? Okay.
Yeah, Canva. We did a workshop we called it the Graphic Girls, where Petra and Paige did a whole hour on how they use Canva a few months back. It'll be in the group. I'll try and find it and repost it. But yeah,
that'd be great.
Because it already has the sizes for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. They're all there, and you just pick the size, and you don't have to try and guess. Even for Facebook groups, it's a different size. For mobile, it's a different size. You often see you create a great Facebook image, and then when you go to look at it on mobile, and it's all cut off.
Yeah.
So Facebook actually shows you, Canva shows you on Facebook, what it'll look like on mobile, and it puts lines, so if you fit it with. That's why we've got all this space at the sides here, because on mobile you wouldn't see it, but you will see the main piece, and that's why we do it that way.
Jonathan Christian has stopped screen share.
Who is that?
Oh my word!
He
that's
needs a name.
Big brother.
Yeah, Helen had to go. Bye, Helen. Oh, she's probably already gone. Helen, I should say, not Helen. All right, 2 minutes. What's coming up? Palm Sunday this week, right, Harvey? Isn't it? It's Palm Sunday this week, I think. If you're an old Anglican like me, you'll know what that means.
I thought it was the following week.
No, following week's Easter.
Oh.
Yeah, it's coming fast. I saw this great video about Jesus and the Easter Bunny. And it was a little Scottish girl asking her dad all these loaded questions. Like, is the Easter Bunny in the Bible? And what's Jesus's favorite chocolate bar? Great, be a great post to share. It was funny.
Yeah, I'd love to see the comments on that one.
I will find it and share it. There you go. I'll let you know how that one goes. It was good. It was very well done. Okay, you've got just on the top of the hour. So if no other questions, we'll call it a day. If not, we'll see you next Wednesday for the masterclass with Lindsay and I. If you want to come join us and learn a bit more about blogging. And then next Thursday, we'll be here for virtual coffee again.
And I'll try to find out how to get rid of that voice.
Officially next week is what they call Maundy Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So the day before Good Friday.
That's spelled, I think it's Maunday or something like that.
Because the day of mourning, I guess. Yeah. Indeedy. All right, everybody. It's great to see you all. Bye for now. See you again soon. Bye.